Steve, the fall sports completed now, and can you talk a little bit about what we saw this fall?
Well, I think fall sports is a lot of evaluation time for the coaches. I know Donnie and I are both looking at a lot of kids, and
You're talking about baseball,
yeah,
and
baseball
softball.
and softball. So we're what we try to do is just evaluate. We maybe naturally you want to win every time you have the opportunity, but even more importantly in the fall, we're trying to get all these new kids in that we have and try to evaluate different situations. So we may be a tie ball game with somebody, and we switch pitchers just because it's time to see somebody else throw. So. We feel like it's been good. We had a chance to see a lot of kids, and I know Donnie, they're making the transition to Division II this year, so it's hard to tell exactly what competition level is going to be. But so we're excited to see them make the step forward to be competitive in the Division II level and maybe push for some region titles as well.
Yeah, what kind of difference will that make when it comes to schedule and that sort, and postseason?
Well, scheduling is going to be. I think it's going to be similar. I think. There's only a select few schools in our area that you can play. He's going to have to drive ways to find some Division II competition, but I do think he's going to keep some of the Division I's on, and which is good competition because they're close and efficiency-wise, money-wise, it's going to be a good decision, and competition is going to be good. So we're excited. I think both of us are, if you're not excited this time of year, you've not done a very good job recruiting, so we're both pretty excited about that.
Now, softball, will that stay? Where were you guys been?
We've been Division I ever since the program's been going, so we're kind of plan to continue that. We stay competitive every year. I think financially we're in a situation where we can compete with the other schools and get the kids. Softball, this is a really, really good area, the North Central area. Right. So I can recruit local and get a lot of the good kids out of our area and stay competitive.
Tell me a little bit, since we're talking about softball, about maybe some of the kids on your team that you saw have a good fall, and some of the people you're looking forward to kind of building a team around this spring.
I think anytime we're from Trenton, and we have 3 Trenton kids, so that's kind of an exciting thing for our program, and it's not always the case that you can do that. I'm kind of a big believer, if you're going to recruit a kid from your hometown, they better be able to play, because there's a lot of people wanting to see them play, and if they're number 15 on your team, then you create some headache for yourself that way. But all 3 of these girls, Salem Croy, Taylor Richman, and Sydney Lynch, have come in and done really, really good making that transition. But they had a really nice high school team, and we've got several local kids that we're excited about and have a chance to see play, and I think it's just the transition from a lot of our schools are smaller in our area, taking that step from maybe a smaller school to playing college level ball.
And 4 pitchers, is that unusual? Is that a blessing?
It's a good thing. We have 4 good pitchers this year, and they all do something different, though, is what's kind of nice. Is we have a couple that throw a little bit harder, and we have a couple that throw a little bit softer but spin it quite a bit more. And so what we're going to try to do is combo those kids up with a fast one, and then maybe a less fast kid that can spin it more. And the great thing is you don't have to live and die with 1 or 2 kids. If somebody gets in trouble early in a game, you don't just bite the bullet and finish the game with them. You can switch them out and get the next one in. And so it's kind of a nice thing. It's a challenge for pitchers, because they have thrown every inning of every game their whole life. So that's the first thing we try to tell kids, even when we recruit them, is you're not the pitcher, you're one of our pitchers. And that's if they can buy into that, we'll be in great shape. Offensively,
what did you see this fall?
Well, I don't think we hit as strong as what we did last year, but I think maybe we hit for a better percentage. So, in the big scheme of it, it all kind of comes out even. And, I think these kids, this is the time of year we're going to get in the weight room and do some fitness type things and get us stronger and better that way. So I think the strength is going to come. I just think it's these kids, they're still 17, 18-year-old girls, and I think this growing up is going to help them some.
The other hat you wear is athletic director. Let's talk a little bit about that. And let's go back to the fall, men's and women's golf. Can you talk a little bit about their seasons, fall seasons?
Talking with both coaches, I think they're both excited about what they've got. I know the women's program, Daniel is really excited about. His numbers are up, and he's getting some. When I say numbers up in golf, isn't always good when you're playing, but numbers on your team is good. But so I think his numbers are down as far as scores. His numbers are up as far as teammates. And Craig's done a good job of bringing good kids in every year, and not only both golf teams are not only good players, but they're good kids, and they do a good job in the classroom. And shout out to our golf program last year being the number 1 academic team in the nation last year. So those are the kind of things that we at North Central put a lot of weight into, is those academic things as well.
The Ketchum Center. So new bleachers, a new look this year for a building that's not very old. It kind of sparkles right now.
It creates atmosphere, and when if you're going to have a sports program, and I think it's valuable for community colleges to have good sports programs, it having a good, nice gym, the way we've got it set up, just creates a great atmosphere. And I think, I'll lead into maybe what you're going to talk to me next about is our basketball team. Mm-hmm. I think both teams are going to be really, really good this year. I've had a chance to watch practice. I've talked with them about their preseason games, and I think they're both excited, and they've both got a couple under their belt now, regular season. And the men come up with a big win against State Fair the other night and on the road. So we're excited in a lot of ways about both men and women's teams.
How big was qualifying for the national championship on the entire athletic program when the men qualified last year?
Anytime you get national recognition for any of your programs, it helps recruiting, it helps with local fan base, it helps with a lot of things. So the men's team doing as well as they did last year maybe helps everybody out. We can talk about that when we're recruiting softball kids, and we can talk about that when we're recruiting golf kids. So it's been a blessing that they've done well, and I think they're going to have maybe a mirror type season again this year.
You've been here for a long time. What's the best part about being at North Central?
Well, when I recruit softball kids or when I recruited basketball kids, the one thing I told parents is the individual attention you're going to get here is like no other. You're not going to be on a campus of 3,000 people. You're not going to be on a campus of 10,000 people. If we don't have anything that the other schools don't have, but what we do have is access to it. We have the opportunity for kids to be involved and kids to get into the tutor labs and not have to have appointments 2 weeks ahead. And one thing that's been impressive to the kids we've recruited is when we're doing campus tours, and I give them all myself, is our instructors stop and come out and say hi and introduce themselves. And it's not a fairy tale thing that we tell them to do when recruits come on. Right? It's just what we are, and that's the one thing that we can offer that a lot of schools can't.
Steve, thank you for your time. And
all right,
we will be back in just a moment.